Imagine this. You grow up in a loving home, but every time you look in the mirror you're haunted by questions. Who am I? Where do I come from? Why did my biological parents give me away? These thoughts are the constant companions of David Carter, a boy adopted as a baby. For years David buried his curiosity, living the life his adoptive parents gave him. But the mystery of his origins lingered, nagging at him with every passing birthday. On his 20th birthday, he finally decided it was time to find out the truth, embarking on a journey that would not only reshape his life, but reveal shocking secrets about his past. This is the extraordinary story of David, a tale of love, loss, and a relentless pursuit of identity. David Carter had an idyllic childhood, or so it seemed from the outside. His adoptive parents, Mark and Linda, were kind, nurturing, and deeply devoted to him. They had adopted David when he was just a few months old, after years of struggling with infertility. For them, David was a miracle, the answer to years of longing. The Carters gave him everything: a stable home, endless love, and the freedom to pursue his dreams. But as David grew older, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. His jet-black hair and almond-shaped eyes stood out in a family of fair skin and light features. "You're adopted," Linda would remind him with a smile, "but that doesn't make us any less of a family." While David appreciated the honesty, it wasn't enough. He had questions Mark and Linda couldn't answer. Who were his real parents? Did they think about him? Why did they give him up? These thoughts began to intensify during his teenage years. Every milestone, graduation, his first job, his first heartbreak, brought with it a quiet ache. "I wonder if they'd be proud of me," he often thought. On his 20th birthday, Mark and Linda presented him with a letter they had kept since his adoption, a letter written by his birth mother. David held the letter in his hands, the envelope weathered and yellowed with time. His hands trembled as he broke the seal. Inside was a single piece of paper, the words scrawled in an unsteady hand: "My dearest David, letting you go was the hardest thing I've ever done. I made this choice because I wanted you to have a life I couldn't give you. Not a day goes by that I don't think of you. If you ever decide to find me, I will understand. With all my love, Mom." There was no name, no return address, only a postmark from Portland, Oregon. David read the letter over and over, his emotions a whirlwind of sadness, hope, and determination. "This is all I have?" he asked Mark and Linda. They nodded, apologetic. David decided then and there that he had to find her. The letter wasn't enough. He needed answers. But where would he even begin? David started his search with the little information he had. He scoured adoption records, but without a name, the process was like searching for a needle in a haystack. He joined online forums for adoptees, hoping someone might recognize his story or offer guidance. Weeks turned into months, and his frustration grew. Then a breakthrough came in the form of a friend's suggestion. "Why don't you try one of those DNA testing kits?" his friend asked. "Even if it doesn't lead directly to your mom, it could connect you to other relatives." David ordered the kit immediately. The waiting period felt excruciating, but when the results finally arrived, they offered a glimmer of hope. The test revealed David's heritage, a mix of European and South American descent, and a list of distant relatives. Among them was a second cousin named Ellen Martinez. David hesitated before reaching out. Would she even respond? But his desperation outweighed his fear. He sent Ellen a message through the DNA platform, explaining his story and his quest to find his biological family. To his relief, Ellen replied. "I think I can help," she wrote. Ellen's response was a turning point in David's journey. She shared details about her family, including the story of her Aunt Maria, who had vanished decades ago. According to Ellen, Maria had been a young woman full of dreams, but her life took a dark turn when she became involved with an abusive partner. She moved to Portland in 2003, and that's the last anyone heard from her, Ellen explained. "We assumed she wanted a fresh start, but now I'm wondering if she might be your mom." David was overwhelmed. Could this be the break he had been waiting for? Ellen connected him with her grandmother, Rosa, who remembered Maria vividly. "She was so full of life," Rosa said during a phone call. "But that man she was with, he wasn't good for her. If she gave you up, it was because she wanted better for you." Rosa's words filled David with a mix of hope and sorrow. He decided to travel to Portland, determined to follow every lead, no matter how small. In Portland, David scoured public records, visited libraries, and even approached adoption agencies. His determination was unwavering, but progress was slow. One day, while visiting a clinic that specialized in adoption-related cases, he received unexpected news. A staff member had found a file that might match his mother's details. It included a name, Maria Lopez. With a name in hand, David's search gained momentum. He found an old address for Maria and began knocking on doors, hoping someone would recognize her. Most leads led to dead ends, but one elderly neighbor remembered Maria. "She lived here years ago," the woman said. "I think she moved to a shelter after her boyfriend left her." David visited every shelter in the area, leaving his contact information and a plea for help. Weeks later, his phone rang. "Is this David?" a woman's voice asked. "Yes," he replied, his heart pounding. "This is Maria, your mother." When David met Maria, it was as if time stood still. The moment she walked into the cafe, he recognized her instantly. She had his eyes, his dark hair, and a warmth that felt both familiar and foreign. Their reunion was filled with tears and long embraces. Maria explained the circumstances that had led to her decision. "I was in a terrible place," she said. "I loved you, but I couldn't give you the life you deserved. Giving you up was the hardest thing I've ever done." David listened, his emotions a mix of anger, understanding, and gratitude. But Maria wasn't done. She revealed a secret that left him stunned. David had a twin brother. According to Maria, her abusive partner had taken David's twin shortly after birth. She had tried to find him but had been unsuccessful. David was determined to find his brother. Using the DNA platform, he searched for matches and shared his story across social media. After months of searching, he finally received a lead, a man named Michael living just a few hours away. When David and Michael met, the connection was immediate. They looked alike, shared similar mannerisms, and even had eerily similar life experiences. Their reunion brought a sense of closure David hadn't thought possible. David's journey is a testament to the power of persistence, love, and modern technology. Through heartbreak and hope, he pieced together the fragments of his past, finding not only his mother but a brother he never knew he had. David's story reminds us that no matter how far apart life takes us, the bonds of family have a way of bringing us back together.